Welcome to the Get Fit Guys quick and dirty tips to slim down and shape up. My name is Ben Greenfield and I'm the Get Fit Guy. Listener Mike recently wrote in asking, would you analyze the current Army fitness test, point out what it is testing, where it fails, and what soldiers can do to max the test without creating a muscle imbalance or hurting their back, shoulders, and knees, which are all common ailments among our servicemen and women. I'm sure all of the soldiers out there would appreciate your advice. So, this one is for all you soldiers and potential recruits who want to learn everything you need to know about preparing for the Army Physical Fitness Test. The Army Physical Fitness Test is also known as the APFT, and it's designed to test the fitness of soldiers in the United States Army. It's a test of your muscular strength, endurance, and cardiovascular fitness, and is conducted by scoring you on 3 separate events. The first is a push-up, which you need to complete with your upper arms at least parallel to the ground at the bottom point of the push-up. Number 2 is a sit-up, which is completed with your upper body rising to a vertical position with your neck at least over your spine. And number 3 is a 2-mile run. So you are scored on your performance in the APFT by adding up the total number of points in each of the 3 events, the push-up, the sit-up, and the 2-mile run. Scoring is based on your gender, age category, and number of repetitions you performed for the push-up and the sit-up, plus your run time. If you're an active soldier, you need to take the APFT at least twice a year, and if you're a reserve soldier, you need to test at least once per year. Now, with proper workouts, you can maximize your ability to succeed at the APFT test. For most males to be optimally prepared, you should be able to do 60 to 75 push-ups in 2 minutes, 65 to 80 sit-ups in 2 minutes, and clock in at 13 minutes to 14 and a half minutes for your 2-mile run. If you're female, be ready for 30 to 45 push-ups in 2 minutes, 65 to 80 sit-ups in 2 minutes, and about a 15 and a half to 18-minute time for your 2-mile run. So here are your quick and dirty tips to prepare for each part of the APFT. The strength and muscular endurance in your chest and shoulders are just one component of the push-up. For example, if you drop and do 20 push-ups and find that your arms don't get tired but your low back is sagging or your abs are hurting, you probably have issues with a weak core. If your shoulders sag or drop, you likely have weak scapula and upper back or shoulder blade muscles. If your upper body doesn't get tired during the push-ups but your legs feel unstable, you likely have weak quadriceps or hip muscles. So, to work yourself up to a high number of push-ups with good form, you should hit all these muscles that could potentially hold you back. So, I would recommend you do, number 1, planking exercises like side planks and front planks. Number 2, upper back exercises like pull-ups and seated rows. Number 3, quadriceps and hip exercises like lunges and squats. And number 4, of course, push-ups. There's no better training for your upper body APFT preparation than push-ups. However, rather than simply doing the standard push-ups, you can do harder variations of the push-up that will make the standard version seem easy. Towards the end of this episode, I'm going to give you a workout that brings in everything that I recommend to you in terms of the push-ups, the sit-ups, and the 2-mile run. So for the sit-ups, there are 3 possible areas that you could get tired or cramped when you're completing a high number of them. Your hip flexor muscles on the front of your legs, your neck, and of course, your abdominals. Because of this, your sit-up preparation routine should at least include, number 1, hip flexor stretching, like a lunging hip flexor stretch. Number 2, neck strengthening, which can actually easily be done by using a towel for resistance and moving your head in all 4 directions against that towel. And number 3, sit-ups. Similar to push-ups, there is no better training for your sit-up APFT preparation than sit-ups. Finally, for the 2-mile run, running 2 miles will require you to have a combination of fast leg turnover, hip extension strength, and cardiovascular endurance. So your run preparation should include, number 1, fast treadmill or downhill running repeats, which will teach you how to move your legs quickly. Number 2, steep hill repeats, which will build hip extensor and leg strength. And number 3, tempo running efforts at your goal pace for up to the 2 miles, which will build your cardiovascular endurance. So, putting all these together, here is a sample APFT workout plan. Let's start on Monday. So on Monday, you'll do a full body resistance training workout consisting of 6 different steps. Start with 10 to 15 push-ups and begin to add 1 to 2 per workout. I will put a link to some push-up variations that you can choose as harder alternatives to those push-ups if you find a push-up to be easy. You'll be able to access that link in the show notes over at getfitguy.quickanddirtytips.com. Number 2, do 10 to 15 pull-ups or seated rows. Number 3, 10 to 15 front plank reaches or side plank rotations. I'll put a link to each of those in the show notes as well. Number 4, 10 to 15 squats or lunges. Number 5, 20 to 25 sit-ups. For the sit-ups, also add 1 to 2 per workout. Number 6, 30 seconds of a lunging hip flexor stretch for each side. And then what you'll do is repeat each of those steps 4 to 5 times through with minimal rest, and then finish with 15 to 20 repetitions in each direction of a towel-resisted neck bend, in which you place a towel against the front of your head and do 15 to 20 repetitions pushing against that towel and resisting with your arms, and then you repeat for one side, the other side, and the back. You'll really feel this in the neck. For the next day, Tuesday, warm up and then do 10 30 to 60 second hill repeats and do a full recovery after each hill climb that should be done at maximum sustainable pace. Wednesday, do the same full body resistance training workout as you did on Monday. Thursday, you'll train for the run again, but this time instead of hill repeats, you're going to do treadmill repeats. Do 20 30-second treadmill repeats at a maximum sustainable pace to help with your leg turnover and inject a full recovery after each repeat. Friday, do the same full body resistance training workout as Monday and Wednesday. Saturday, do 4 to 8 quarter-mile run repeats at your goal pace for your 2-mile run and add 1 repeat for each time that you get to that workout on a Saturday. Insert a full recovery after each repeat, and after 4 weeks of doing the quarter-mile runs, switch to half-mile repeats. And then finally, at the end of the week, Sunday, rest, recover, or participate in a sport of your choice as cross-training. You can easily go to getfitguy.quickanddirtytips.com and print the workout that I just described. So what are some strengths and weaknesses of the Army Physical Fitness Test? Well, the push-up, the sit-up, and the 2-mile run are simple, non-complex movements that are very easy to quantify and score. The most functional of these tests is the 2-mile run, since an individual who's able to complete 2 miles of intense running will likely be able to handle the cardiovascular requirements encountered on the battlefield or in day-to-day training. In addition, because they're bodyweight exercises that require no extra equipment, the push-up and the sit-up can be performed with a large number of individuals and a relatively low risk of weight-bearing injuries. But compared to the push-up and the sit-up, there are exercises that may be a better indicator of functional strength and muscular endurance required in day-to-day military activities, such as the deadlift, which involves picking a heavy weight off the ground, the push press, which involves hoisting a heavy weight overhead, and the torso twist, which involves using the core muscles combined with the upper body muscles in a standing and rotating position. However, each of these exercises is, of course, more difficult to quantify and to test. An example of a more complete test would be the candidate fitness assessment used to test applicants to the Naval Academy, Air Force Academy, and Military Academy. This test involves a kneeling basketball throw, cadence pull-ups, a 120-foot shuttle run, crunches, push-ups, and a 1-mile run. But as you can imagine, this type of test would involve much more equipment and tracking to implement than the Army Physical Fitness Test, which only requires the push-ups, the sit-ups, and the 2-mile run. Hopefully, this workout that I described in this episode will help you prepare for the APFT if you're a recruit or a soldier. Now, if you have more questions about the APFT and how to do well at it, then you can share those questions over at the Get Fit Guy Facebook page at facebook.com/getfitguy or in the comments for the show notes. And be sure to follow Get Fit Guy on Twitter, where I dish out tips every day, all week long. So until next time, this is the Get Fit Guy asking you, what are you waiting for? Go get fit.